Hello, in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can stream content using streaming locators and streaming endpoints in MKIO. So it doesn't matter if your content is a live event or a VOD asset, they both require streaming locators and endpoints in order to stream to users. So you need to make sure you have both in place in order to make your content accessible. First step is to set up your streaming endpoint. You can think of the streaming endpoint as the delivery point for your video. It's what your player connects to when someone presses play. So once the endpoint is created and running, your content can be delivered through it. We're going to break this down step by step. Start by logging into MKIO and selecting your organization. From the left-hand menu, open Streaming Endpoints, and then click on Create Streaming Endpoint. You're first going to give the endpoint a name. This name will become part of the playback URL, so it's a good idea to keep it simple and easy to recognize. If you want, you can also add a short description. This will make it easier to identify later. I'm going to type one in here. Next, you're going to choose your endpoint type. This will be shared or dedicated, depending on how you plan to use the endpoint. If you're working in Azure, you can enable the CDN here. If you're using AWS, this is where you'd configure CloudFront separately. Once everything looks good, you can go ahead and create the endpoint. A final thing to mention is to make sure that the endpoint is actually running. If it isn't active, your content won't be available for playback. The next step is to create your streaming locator. You're going to go into Assets and open up the asset that you want to stream. Scroll down to Streaming Locators and click Add Streaming Locator. Again, you're going to start by giving your locator a name. And like before, this becomes part of your playback URL, so keep it simple and clear. Next, we need to configure a few settings. Select a streaming policy. This will define how your content is delivered, including the formats and encryption. And if you need a DRM, you can also select a content key policy. We'll be discussing this in future videos. You can optionally set an expiration time and apply filters if you want to control what viewers can access. And once everything is set, click Add to create the locator. So now that your endpoint and locator are ready, we need to connect everything together. That's all you need to do. At this point, MKIO will generate your playback URLs. These will be HLS or Dash, and you can see them below. Now we need to test our stream. You can preview your asset directly in the browser using the embedded player in MKIO, or you can copy one of the playback URLs and use it in your own player or application. So your content is now ready to be delivered. If you're integrating playback into your own app, you can use our MK Player SDK. We have guides on this in our documentation, along with how to customize the player, and you can follow along in the description links below. So that's how you stream live or VOD assets in MKIO. Once your streaming endpoint and locator are set, your content is ready for playback, and we'll be expanding on these concepts in the next video. Thanks for watching.